Suddenly, do you have any foodies around you? A person who is a foodie is someone who is knowledgeable in a particular field and has a sense of refinement, but on the other hand, there are people who are not experts but act big and proud as self-proclaimed foodies. This time, we will talk about such self-proclaimed women looking for marriage. Let's take a look. I'm a marriage consultant, but I found a recent X article interesting, so I want you to listen to it. I'll post that post right away, but it's long, so please read it slowly. I'll give you an honest review of Caesarea. I'm a food freak who recently returned from Italy and has visited over 6,500 places around the world. The items I had this time were caprese with Bapaloma and Sarah 430 yen, refreshing ninja salad 200 yen, arrosticini 400 yen, popcorn shrimp 300 yen, chicken tangle 300 yen, Parmafu spaghetti 400 yen, Grand Moravia Kona cheese 100 yen, grilled cheese Milanese food Doria 350 yen, Italian pudding 250 yen, Lambrusco bottle 1100 yen, Canta 500 milliliters 400 yen, Grappa 300 yen, totaling 4,530 yen, which was much cheaper than I had imagined. First of all, my conclusion was that the restaurant is designed to satisfy with a small number of dishes by using a variety of sugar and chemical seasonings, which I found to be a touching corporate attitude. If they had used less of these, the number of dishes would have increased, but they have designed the taste so that you can be satisfied with a small amount at a reasonable price, which is a very consumer-friendly company. The quality of the food here is also far higher than that of many strange chain izakayas. Therefore, I felt that as a family restaurant, they do not have a large menu and compete with a small but elite selection. And I'm also happy with the consideration given to seasonings. The salt is Sicilian. I was surprised to learn that the extra virgin olive oil is 0.25 to 0.35% oil. I was also surprised to learn that the ingredients used are so mild. I felt that this was a great company, so I thought it would be even better if they could cut back on the umami seasonings and sugar. Strong umami and sweetness dull the sense of taste, so I couldn't help but buy some extra virgin olive oil for 1,200 yen to take home. It's also cheap and appreciated in these times. Now, let me introduce the reviews of each dish. A
self-proclaimed gourmet posted a review of this size, but now Yuji, a food researcher, joins the fray.
Caesarea uses a variety of umami seasonings, but sugar is used relatively rarely except in desserts, and it feels strangely underused. It would be good if they could cut back on the umami seasonings and sugar. I don't think the strong umami and sweetness are so strong that they are said to dull the sense of taste. By the way, not only umami seasonings and sugar, but also natural salt, kelp, and even things like O are countered by saying that if they are too strong, it will dull your sense of taste.
Naturally, a professional food researcher is more trustworthy than an amateur self-proclaimed gourmet, so the poster was savaged. Yuji is someone who posts videos about kuahan and is active as an influencer. I've seen him a lot recently, and he's been having back and forths on X. He often had discussions about scientific seasonings. People often dislike him for straying from health, but that's not the case, and I think there are a lot of videos where he says they're delicious and you should use them, so I think you should check them out. I think I'll check them out too.
By the way, Sochi is a matchmaking consultant, right? Is there a thread where he specifically introduced this back and forth using his own food as a reference?
Oh, that's because Caesarea is hated by women looking for marriage. You know, the post about how women who are happy at Caesarea are the best caused a controversy. That happened. I don't think it's a first date, but I think it's fine to just go out for dinner at Caesarea when you're dating someone.
That's right. In the end, you need to have a down-to-earth sense to have a long-lasting relationship. If you go out for fancy dinners every time, your wallet won't be able to handle it. I guess that's how I feel too.
Well, ever since that controversy, women looking for marriage have clearly started to hate Caesarea. Of course, there aren't any men who invite you to Caesarea on the first date after matching, but apparently there are some who do after multiple dates, and everyone ends up cutting you off at that point.
Well, I guess you can just put up with it if it's just a few dates before you start dating. Do you really hate being asked out again for money?
Well, I guess it's unpleasant to think that you've put a lot of effort into dressing up and putting on makeup for the sake of your marriage search and then being taken to Caesarea. I can understand how you feel, but there are just too many people who hate Caesarea. Why is that? Women looking for marriage tend to be in their 30s or older, so they're the type who care about things like the amount of chemical seasoning. So I don't know what chain stores use and I don't want to go there. I'm just weak and stubborn. I see.
Even if things that were once considered bad have been overturned, that's how it is because people live their lives without knowing that. If you
think like that, you'll only be able to go to places that specialize in organic food. I wonder if they don't use it when they cook. Just a few drops of that makes it so much tastier. It's seriously a magic powder. I cook for myself too, so I totally get that. Anyway, I felt really refreshed because I felt like I had made the women who are always being bullied look like fools. Are you having
trouble? Women who are looking for a partner are harder to deal with than men who are looking for a partner. There are
a lot of people who don't make it in the matchmaking consulting industry, so of course there are weird people on both sides. But it's clear that there are more strange customers among women. Their values are all messed up, so it's hard to find a man to match them with. Well, I can kind of understand that. It's mostly women who care about things like genetically modified foods and chemical seasonings. I guess you're too opinionated to change your mind once you've made up your mind. Huh, what are you talking about? I can't believe you'd go to a place like Caesarea, a place full of sado and chemical seasonings. I'm not interested in men like that.
Oh, something's coming. Can you just turn me down without me inviting you? There's no way I'd go to
Caesarea on a date. Isn't that just cheap, unhealthy food? If I were going on a date, I'd have to go to Italian or conveyor belt sushi. I won't accept anything else. Could this be a woman looking for a partner? Did she get irritated because she thought someone was talking about her? I'm a 42-year-old woman looking for a partner, and I can't stand seeing women being criticized for having the right opinion, even if it's not about me. It's because of men like you that women are sad. You're calling yourself a hero, but, oh, in this case, you're a heroine. In reality, it's Posu's wrong, and it's true that there are a lot of weird women looking for a partner. What? Is there some kind of evidence? First of all, Caesarea's food definitely contains additives. Well, since it's a family restaurant, it's best to make it reproducible and delicious, but Caesarea is careful about where the ingredients are sourced and tries to avoid using additives as much as possible. But they do have them in them, right? Then it's the same as ingesting poison. To begin with, additives are used in the food served at the restaurant based on the Food Sanitation Act. Oh, so it's like the 2 grams per day thing. Well, you can think of it that way. There are rules about which additives you can use, how much you can use, and it's important to follow the dosage for medicine and caffeine. It's the same thing. Because of that, there's basically no such thing as an additive in your body. You don't eat out every day, and if you cook at home sometimes, there's no problem. Isn't that just a hunch? People have always said that additives are bad for you. Are you saying that people back then were all idiots? That's not what I mean. In fact, I thought the same thing when I was a kid. But science advances, and things that were thought to be true may not be true. I'm a typical example of that. Therefore, the conclusion is that additives are not as bad for your health as people think, and that chemical seasonings are not used that much in the market. It's a perfect match. Did this completely fool you?
Women really do talk about things they assume. Seeing a model case made it clear.
So what? What's the big deal? Even famous female celebrities say that the secret to beauty is organic food. It must be true because someone who has achieved results is saying it. Besides, anything scientifically made is bound to be harmful. It must have eye-opening properties. How stubborn, lol.
They should just admit defeat. Organic food may be good for your health, but that doesn't prove that chemical seasonings are bad for you. Besides, celebrities make efforts in areas other than food. It might be influenced by other things they pay attention to, like exercise and sleep. Is this
science theory? It's a field that has nothing to do with cooking. It's something that people who wear white clothes, not aprons, study. Don't women looking for marriage eat natto? Well, they do, but what does that have to do with it? Fermented foods, baked dishes, and adding onions and sugar to transform food are all chemical reactions. Are you talking about cooking without knowing that? No, that can't be true. I know all about it. This is someone who didn't know. It's
obvious that he's upset, lol. Is the ghost starting to peel off? That's why it's wrong to not
acknowledge science. Food itself is artificially developed, so don't criticize scientific seasonings. I'll keep quiet, that's all. Even so, I absolutely hate Caesarea. I'm not the kind of cheap girl who would go to a cheap family restaurant like that. I saw it on X before, but it's funny to me when someone said they wanted a girl who would go to Caesarea on a date. Well, that's actually something that should be debated, and people have different opinions about it. I think the main point of the discussion is that you want a girl who will be happy to go to Caesarea on a date after you start dating, so you don't have to worry about it. Oh, and before I knew it, they were debating whether or not to go to Caesarea on a first date. I think the consensus is pretty much on target. If it's just a
date, it's fine. But if it's marriage, it's incredibly helpful. I can't stand having to take her to fancy restaurants every time.
You guys are really stupid. Is that why you can't get a wife? As a man, you have to treat women with care and not be embarrassed. That's why you have to spend money lavishly on dates. You're looking for a partner, aren't you? If you have that mindset, is your dating life going well? I am. I've already dated about 30 people. I'm not like you guys. But you've dated 30 people and you still haven't gotten into a relationship, right? That doesn't mean things aren't going well at all, does it? You really don't understand. Adult love is something that progresses little by little. It only progresses quickly and easily when you're a student. Adults take their time and deepen their love. With all due respect, most of the clients who receive consultations end up getting married before they've matched with 10 people. They carefully select clients who seem to be in love, so it shouldn't take that long. This is definitely the fault of the women looking for marriage. Well, if you act like this, you're bound to be disliked.
Only high school and college students can boast about the number of people they've dated. The moment you become a working adult, that badge turns into a label. Don't
blame me for your inability to find love? You're wrong too. The only reason I haven't gotten married is because I'm choosing my partners carefully. So let me ask you, how many men have proposed to you? If you're going to say that, then you've been proposed to by quite a few and you're still undecided. You haven't been proposed to by any of them, but that's because I'm acting like I don't want to get married yet. It's awkward when someone proposes to you when you have no intention of getting married. Oh, that's a lie. Just tell the truth and feel better. Well, I can tell without you having to say it. You can't move on to the next step because you don't like them. If you're honest and admit it, I'll give you some advice right here and now. I wouldn't leave it to a stranger like you. I have a consultant who's matched me with 30 people. Is it different from yours? In my opinion, that consultant is rather incompetent. A consultant's job is to assist clients in getting married, not to randomly match people. If it didn't work out with that many people, then the consultant's eyes are too bad. I'm a complete amateur.
But I certainly think that's true. It's like they're just taking your money and saying it's useless. In fact, they're using you as a money grab. So if I
ask them, they'll match me with someone better? No, that's impossible. Isn't it impossible? They're just talking. Really? Well, it's impossible to find someone who matches my personality and way of thinking. Sigh. A self-proclaimed gourmet in her 40s who's never been single and loves scientific seasonings won't be able to match with any women looking for marriage. Even if they do, they'll only match with a short, fat, balding man who only has 3 seconds to spare or an annual income of 2 million yen. What are you talking about? That can't be true. I'm 42, and people often tell me I'm cute. There's no way I'd only match with weak men. That just shows how low your market value is right now. This is the consultant's assessment, so it's definitely true. Ask your consultant next time. He'll definitely not get mad, but tell him to tell you his market value. You really have no eye for quality. Shouldn't you quit consulting right now? It's your personality that's making you want to quit. You're 42, so it's time to face reality. If you force yourself to be like this now, you might be able to get married by 50. No way. I've decided to get married by 45. Girls have a time limit. You can't just stay pretty forever, so you have to hurry. Are you fighting back because you're angry? Your speech and behavior are becoming childish. You're being tough at 42. Seriously, only kids get away with that. It's so much fun to bully the opposite sex. Remember all these guys out there? I'll sue them all. Yeah, it's fun. Your child will also be exposed for your abusive language in that case. But are you okay with that? Women have no right to say anything. Women are quick to sue. But don't they think that they themselves are the ones who are at fault first? In the first place, the reason why women looking for marriage are targeting Caesarea is because they have acquired incorrect knowledge. Why won't they admit their mistakes when correct opinions are thrown at them? Because they're not wrong. Didn't they learn not to trust information on the internet? Hiyuki said that it's difficult to use message boards unless you can tell a lie from the truth. Not all of them are lies though. Maybe women just can't understand that. I
think it's simply a matter of intelligence. Women may be better able to study up to university, but men have a better basic way of thinking. When I see examples like this, I really feel it. I guess the reason they don't
want to admit their mistakes is because they believe they're right. Hey, can someone tell me how to request disclosure? I want to do something about these guys right now. No one's going to tell me. In the first place, this is a thread that I started because I wanted to talk about the marriage-hunting women who have a grudge against Says. There are no marriage-hunting women with crazy ideas like you here. Why won't anyone tell me? Are you really irritated? You're the type of person who doesn't
listen to what I say at all, lol. Get irritated if you want.
Enough already. I'm the one who's giving up on this. You guys should just be lonely and never get married. It's really hard to say, but I'm married and have kids. When you treat someone like a loser just because you can't see their face, you end up getting hurt like this. Huh? Aren't the marriage-hunting women gone? Did I answer too many questions? No.
Way. Well, it would be a huge blow for the marriage-hunting women if the person they made fun of was married. It seems like I messed up.
I feel sorry for the marriage-hunting women, but whatever. And
So the marriage-hunting women left, and the exchange of opinions began.
thank you both for agreeing. Thanks to the match, I became smarter. And I'm glad I learned how vicious women looking for marriage can be. It made me want to
Choose my marriage partner carefully. It would be terrible if they came out to me after I got married and said they were actually a conspiracy theorist. That's
right. Don't just look at the surface specs of the other person, but also look at their way of thinking and inner qualities when choosing. I promised my consultant. Well then, I have work tomorrow, so I'll be back soon. It was a good way to kill time. Thank you. That's right. Oh no.
I hope the women looking for marriage do their best to deal with this. It was a total
Thrilled to come across such an interesting conversation. If anything happens again, please let me know. And so the exchange of opinions
Ended, and the conversation began to fade away. And so that was the story of a 42-year-old self-proclaimed foodie looking for marriage. Have you ever witnessed an outrageous self-proclaimed foodie woman or man? If so, please let me know in the comments. I'll continue to work hard to make videos, so please support me by subscribing to the channel. Thank you for watching until the end.